Are you finding dimes and receiving a message? Could a simple dime be the tangible confirmation for life everlasting? May you find comfort in my story. Now, my journey began in 2013 when my daughter's boyfriend's aunt passed away. One of the things unique about this lady is wherever she would go, she would find a dime. So after she passed, my daughter started to find dimes in really odd places, and it was always just a dime. So she wondered, could the aunt be leaving them for her? 2015 was a very tough year for me. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, and we were told she had between 6 months to a year to live. Our family was absolutely devastated. How could this be happening? So I decided to ask my mom, Mom, could you leave me dimes when you cross over? Could you just leave me dimes to leave me a message that you're close by and watching over us? Mom passed away March 28, 2016. Shortly after she passed, we headed to Florida. Spending time together in the warm sunshine helped us deal with our loss and grief. It wasn't long after we arrived when I received a text from my brother telling me that him and his family were finding dimes. Gee, where were our dimes? Then they started to come. We would be in a lineup on a theme park, there'd be a dime. We'd be walking in the mall, there'd be a dime. We'd get back in our vehicle, there'd be a dime. Now, my husband was enjoying his morning coffee, and I was sitting across from him at the time. Can you believe it? There was a dime sitting on the couch beside him. Now, that's the dime that made me think, could she be leaving them? When we got back to Canada, they just kept coming. I'd get into my vehicle, there'd be one by my feet, there'd be one sitting in the passenger side seat, there'd be one in a bed frame, one in my washing machine, one in my dryer. Now, as I shared my story, people would want to hug me, they'd want to grasp my hand. They were so thankful that I shared. The gratitude in my heart was so huge. Then what I found was that other people started to find dimes. It was like a chain reaction, a domino effect was transpiring. Even a close friend of mine, after she read my book, my brother-in-law had made her a shelf on her wall in her kitchen so she could display some pictures. Well, she found a dime on that shelf. She also had one of these little metal trays, little toaster oven that had a little metal tray that goes inside it. She found a dime on that metal tray. People have told me they've washed clothes, they've folded them, and they found a dime sitting on top of them. Now, if you search the internet, you will see thousands of stories of people that have found dimes. Even my editor found dimes after she read my book. And when I was trying to decide on a publisher, one of the publishers left me a message on my answering machine. She said ever since she'd talked to me, she'd found 5 dimes. She wasn't sure if it was my mom trying to tell her to contact me, or maybe if it was from her brother that passed. She said, please call me. Another fellow I talked to on a Wednesday. I'm sure he thought, lady, I've never heard of this before. Well, 2 days later, he called to tell me he'd taken his tax return in, and there was a dime in his tax return. I truly believe that I've been guided to write this book. I would tell one person my dime story in a room full of people, and they too had a story. How can this be possible? So much has happened since I've written this book that, to be honest, the biggest story isn't even in this book. And that's the reason that I actually put the word undeniable on my back cover. I promise to share this story with everyone who reads my book and contacts me. My book is a timeline of all the events that transpired after my mom passed. I will be having my book launch on June the 22nd, and the book will be available through all of the distribution centers on June the 11th. May you find comfort and hope in the possibility of a life everlasting. And I hope you too will find love's message in a dime. If you've been touched by these heartfelt stories, kindly share this video. Thank you.